Yurt. What's good?
Gotta get lost in the matrix. They can't relate me to man on the moon. I'm counting this paper and shot I'm a railroad. I'm here with the pilot. I turn on the bulls. 007 straight back to New York with a pound of the gas and a...
What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Amazing A channel. My name is Alfredo and I'm finally back with a new video, and you already know it's all about PS5 games. Last week, PlayStation held their PS5 State of Play, where we got to see some new looks at some games that are coming out soon, some fresh looks at some brand new games, and I just wanted to make this video so I can give you a recap of what happened, as well as share my own thoughts and opinions on the whole presentation. But before we get into that, I just want to remind you all to please leave a like and subscribe, so you can keep up with everything I do. Ring the notification bell so you can get a text every time new videos go up. And without further ado, let's get right into it. The first game we got to see was surprisingly Crash Bandicoot 4. The sequel to the OG Crash trilogy is getting upgraded for PlayStation 5, bringing lots of new bonuses and features for the new console. In addition to native 4K at 60 frames per second, we're getting faster load times and even adaptive trigger support, so we can feel even more as Cortex shoots his ray gun or as Crash surfs along through the water levels. Another bonus is activity card support to help players track their progress and even get hints and tricks to get closer to 106%. Crash 4 is available as a free upgrade from PS4 to PS5 and will come to the new console on March 12th. I reviewed Crash 4 back when it launched on PS4, so check out that video to get my full thoughts on the game. This is awesome for new and returning players of Crash Bandicoot 4, and I think I might just go back to try hunting that platinum trophy. The next game shown was Returnal. In Returnal, players take the role of Celine, who crash lands on an alien planet. Throughout the game, you shoot and dash your way to survival, defending yourself against deadly aliens. Death is only the beginning, however, because every time you die, the world changes and enemies spawn in different locations, so be ready to adapt. Returnal looks super fun to me, and I can't wait to dive in and enjoy the fast-paced gameplay and learn about the story. Returnal is set to arrive on April 30th. We then got our first look at Sifu. Developed by Slowclap, Sifu is a 3D beat-em-up where you play as a young kung fu student seeking revenge throughout the city. The art style looks great and the combat is reminiscent of old school karate movies. Sifu is set to come out sometime this year, and I'm definitely looking forward to trying it out. Our next game presented was Knockout City. Knockout City is an online multiplayer dodgeball game where you run around different maps with different unique features to beam balls at opposing players. It's supposedly easy to pick up and play, but you could get very deep understanding the timing and creating strategies to get the upper hand against opponents. There are different game modes such as 3v3 and 1v1, and there are a bunch of special power-up balls to help you really knock out everyone. I could see this being really fun to play, especially with friends, and I definitely want to try the beta when it drops. Knockout City will come to PS5 May 21st. Next up is Solar Ash. Solar Ash is a 3D platformer where you explore and skate around this world inside of a black hole. The main character, Ray, is on a journey to save her homeworld. The movement and gameplay is very smooth and fluid, and at times Ray will have to fight enemies and defeat big bosses to progress. Solar Ash looks beautiful and is set to come out later this year. We then got our first look at gameplay for Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. For those who don't know, Five Nights at Freddy's is a series of games where you usually play as a security guard stuck in a room inside of a Chuck E. Cheese type of place, trying to stay hidden from animatronics trying to kill you. They're scary games. In this new installment, Security Breach, it looks like they've taken the gameplay a big step further and have the player in the shoes of a kid trapped in the restaurant running around trying to escape. The restaurant/arcade is huge and genuinely looks like a fun place to be and explore. minus the killer animatronics. Security Breach definitely looks like it'll be a fun and terrifying time altogether, and I can't wait to play it later this year. Next up, we were given a deep look at Outworld Soulstorm. You play as Abe trying to help his fellow Mudokons escape to freedom while taking down the evil corporation chasing him. You work with your helpers to platform, solve puzzles, and defeat enemies to make your way to victory. There are different environments to go through and many dangers along the way. I've never been attracted to Outworld games, but this one will be free to download on PlayStation Plus in April, so I may just give it a try. It definitely looks interesting. For our next game, we got Kina Bridge of Spirits. Now I don't know about you guys, but I can't wait to play Kina Bridge of Spirits. The game screams big Zelda adventure to me, with characters and art style reminiscent of Disney and Kingdom Hearts. PlayStation describes it as a story-driven action-adventure combining exploration with fast-paced combat. You find and work with these cute little fuzzy spirit guys called the Ra, and they enhance Kina's abilities to help Kina on her quest to uncover the mystery of the village. In this game, you can expect a great adventure across different environments and dungeons, as well as tight combat, having you wield a mystical rod to fight and shoot enemies and big bosses. I'm super excited to play Kina Bridge of Spirits when it drops on August 24th. We then got another look at Deathloop. For those who are unfamiliar, Deathloop is a game where there are characters stuck in a time loop where they keep dying over and over again. Players are tasked with carrying out assassinations while getting through levels and taking out enemies to progress and somehow get out of the trapped time loop. The game is a first-person shooter, though there are moments where players are bouncing and zipping around to avoid getting seen or killed. Deathloop definitely looks like it'll be a fun time, and I may just give it a shot when it comes out May 21st. And finally, the last thing we got to see was Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. This looks awesome. Intergrade brings us a new episode featuring the great ninja Yuffie as the main character. I've always been a big fan of Yuffie ever since I was introduced to her in the Kingdom Hearts games and when she was featured in Crisis Core. This new chapter in FF7 Remake takes place alongside the main story and follows Yuffie as she and some new companions infiltrate the Shinra Corporation. Their goal is to try and steal a powerful materia and restore glory to Wutai, her homeland. With this episode, we are promised new combat and gameplay additions as well. But that's not all. Final Fantasy VII Remake is also getting a PS5 version as well, with nice visual enhancements all over the game to really improve the look and feel of it. It will have the options to either play with high graphical fidelity or boost performance with a solid 60 frames per second. The game will also feature haptic feedback so you can really feel the intense battles, and the photo mode to take beautiful pictures in the game. The best part is that current FF7 Remake players on PS4 will receive the PS5 upgrade for free and can carry their save data over. For anyone who hasn't played the remake yet, you'll be happy to know that throughout the month of March, Final Fantasy VII Remake is free on PSN to current PlayStation Plus subscribers. Although this version of the game does not qualify for the free PS5 upgrade, it's still definitely worth getting for those who have never played it. I'm super hyped to go back and play this game again. I've been wanting to replay FF7 Remake for a while now. As you guys know, it was one of my favorite games of last year, and now that they're upgrading it for PS5 and bringing DLC, I cannot wait. Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade comes out on June 10th. And there you have it. Honestly, I think it was a pretty great presentation that they showed, and there was genuinely lots of games to just get really excited for, and a lot of stuff just coming in the near future. So it's like it's nothing, none of the really big names that you want to hear, but it's still knowing that we're getting great games coming soon to the PS5, and it's just gonna be an amazing couple of months until we start to hear about the really big stuff that we want to know. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the presentation if you watched it, or what you think of the games, what you're looking forward to the most. And of course, leave a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe so you can keep up with everything I do. Hope you all have a great one. Stay blessed.
Still in the hood with a hole in the wall, a mirror broken, but I keep on talking. I take a picture and freeze. I got 100 of these. You look at me and you see the future, but I look at myself and I see a broken spirit with a lot of hunger. This for my niggas.